All right, so I am going to show you how to use your hand to remember your trig functions for anywhere from 0 to 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. So if you're in geometry, you're probably only worried about the three in the middle, 30, 45, and 60. If you're in pre-calculus or algebra 2, then you maybe are trying to memorize unit circle, in which case this will make your life a whole lot easier. Word of caution is if you are in pre-calculus and you're using this for the unit circle, just make sure that you are careful of your signs for sine and cosine, because remember, as you change quadrants, it's going to change how you do it. But to use your handy unit circle trick, you're going to have to use your imagination a little bit. So you can have it in your hand. Your thumb should always go to the right, so that you make a 90 degree, kind of like I've drawn over here. Now, when you're doing this, the things that will always be there are this radical, this cosine, this over 2. Let's just circle it instead. Oh no, I made it go away. Circle. And the sine. Okay, so those things are always there no matter which one you're using. So, use your hand. Thumb is 0 degrees. This is 90 degrees. Halfway between 0 and 90 is 45. And then you have 30 degrees and 60 degrees. So, let's say when you're doing this, that you want to find the sine of 30. So you look at your fingers. This one is my sine, or my 30 degrees, so I'm going to put down my index finger. So because cosine and sine are on separate ends, cosine is anything to the left of the finger that you put down, and sine is anything to the right of that. And if you feel like you might forget that, I always remember it with the alphabet, because cosine we read left to right, and C comes before S in the alphabet, so cosine and sine. So if I want the sine of 30 degrees, I'm going to look to the right. I have one finger. Remember, you should always have that radical that I highlighted with the blue. So it is the square root of 1, and let me grab a pen, square root of 1 over 2, because that over 2 is always there. Okay, it's on your hand. So square root of 1 is 1. So the sine of 30 degrees is 1/2, because I had one finger. Now, if I wanted to do cosine of 30 degrees, it's going to be almost exactly the same, still same fingers, same setup, everything. But now, because it's cosine, I'm looking at the 3 fingers I have to the left of the finger I put down. So because I have 3 fingers, I have my square root that's always there, square root of 3 over 2, because that over 2 is always there. Okay, so the more you practice it, the easier it'll get, and it'll kind of feel less foreign to you. So let's practice. Let's say we want to do sine of 60 degrees. 60 degrees is our ring finger, so you put down your ring finger. Sine of 60, remember, you always have the radical, and you always have that over 2. So sine is everything to the right. So we have square root of 3 over 2. Again, it's all over 2. And if you wanted cosine of 60, then you'd have square root of 1 over 2, which is just be 1/2 again. And you can use this if you're, let's say you're trying to do 90 degrees. If we're doing sine of 90 degrees, it's the square root of 4. So square root of 4 is 2. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. So then sine of 90 is 1. And then cosine of 90 is 0, because we have no fingers over here. So let's say 45. What do you think 45 is? Square root of, let's say we're doing sine, because I always have a tendency to do sine first. Square root of 2 fingers, square root of 2 over 2, because that's always there. And then cosine is going to be the same thing, square root of 2 fingers over 2, so it's just square root 2 over 2. Just make sure that you're only putting that radical over your numerator and not your denominator. That is the one small thing with this. But practice. The better you get at recognizing what it is with this, it makes your life much easier, especially if you're doing this for the unit circle. And if you're just doing this for geometry for now, then just don't forget it, because it will be very helpful to you later. Hopefully this helped you. Let me know if you have any questions.